So welcome everyone to our residence webinar Wednesday here. We're going to be together for the next hour, offering an overview and then answering any frequently asked questions. I would like to start us off with a little video here to get us started while we wait for folks to roll in.
Always lit, even outside. Smile on my face, don't kill my high. Never stagnate, just passing by. Stay still, don't ask me why. Where to next, let time decide. Me and the world see eye to eye. Life's a journey, enjoy the ride. Get vibey with it. See me on the deck, see live in the mix. Yeah, with the bass, one time let hit, make the room go crazy, cause we don't miss. I just go with the flow. Pick yourself up if the mood gets low. Sometimes chill, take it slow. Any bad vibes, hit the road. Hit the road. Any bad vibes, hit the road. Chill, take it slow. Any bad vibes, hit the road.
Amazing.
Sorry, me and technology are not.
That's okay. Perfect. So I would like to offer a land acknowledgement that Fleming College respectfully acknowledges that we are situated on the Mississauga lands and the traditional territory covered by the Williams Treaty. Miigwech, as people for allowing us to continue our work in your territory. I'm very excited to be here alongside the residence team. This session is recorded, as I did mention earlier on. My name's Brooke Lynch, and I'm a student recruitment officer here supporting Fleming College. And I'm here alongside Olivia Winder, who's our residence life manager. And she's responsible for the overall development and delivery of the student experience in residence at the Sutherland, Frost, and Haliburton campuses. Olivia oversees all residence policies and protocols, leads the residence life team, and administers the residence community standards and conduct processes. Olivia brings over a decade of experience in residence life field and is passionate about making a memorable resident experiences. We're also joined here by Hayden McDonald, and Hayden is the residence life community supervisor. He's responsible for programming, events, and student experience in residence. And Hayden has previously worked in residence life at Canada College, the University of Guelph, and Western University. We also have Sarah Ramani, student case management specialist, and she works with students to navigate and connect with many supports Fleming offers. She's available to support students with their transition to living independently, including coordinating accommodation requests for students with identified disabilities. Sarah works in collaboration with campus partners to provide intensive case management support where needed. And I'm going to pass it over to Olivia to get us started here with our information session, and then we'll open it up at the end for a Q&A.
So thank you so much, Brooke. Very appreciated the warm welcome. And welcome to our residence session at Fleming College. I will say, as a bit of a forewarning, technology is not my strength in all of this. So apologies ahead of time if something pauses and restarts. That's totally me clicking buttons I shouldn't be clicking. But with that being said, as Brooke introduced, my name is Olivia and I'm the manager of residence life here at Fleming College. And so today I am joined by my colleagues Sarah and Hayden, and together we make up the residence life management team across our Sutherland, Frost, and Haliburton campuses located in Peterborough, Lindsay, and Haliburton. So with that being said, we're going to go over the structure of our webinar since we have a little bit of time together. So the structure of our time together is as follows. We're first going to do an overview of each of our on-campus residences. So we're going to start by talking about our Sutherland residence in Peterborough, Ontario, our Frost residence in Lindsay, Ontario, and our Haliburton residence in Haliburton, Ontario. We're going to talk about safety and security in residence. We're going to talk about the residence life team and all of the folks who might be working with the residences and supporting all of the students living in our residences. We're going to talk about opportunities for getting involved while you're here with us, how you can apply if this all sounds great for you and you'd like to put in your application. We're going to talk about residence fees and key dates. Some may have passed already and some are in the future, so all good to know. And then last but not least, we'll have some time for some questions at the end and hopefully have those answers for you as well. So we're going to start off with our Sutherland residence. So welcome to Sutherland Residence. Sutherland residence is located only steps away from main campus here in Peterborough, Ontario. It's approximately 200 steps or so from, building 1 to the front of the D wing. So you can't get much closer than that on campus. So Sutherland residence features 6 residence buildings at our 1 residence circle location. On property, we do have an outdoor volleyball and basketball courts that are on site, a barbecue, and 2 outdoor pavilions for lots of sort of hangout spots. To go through Sutherland residence, it is our largest on-campus residence location. So we are comprised of suite-style student residences. So that would mean that we have 6 students who live within a suite. And the suite is comprised of single bedrooms. So you still have your own individual spot to live in. You have your own bed. You get to shut the door to have a little bit of that privacy, but you do share some amenities within that suite. And so the suite has a kitchen, which includes a full-size fridge, oven, stovetop, plenty of kitchen cabinets for storage and some pantry shelving. There's also a kitchen table with 6 chairs around so everyone can have like a family style dinner if they want. They also share a common space. So this is open concept with the kitchen and sort of dining space as well too. But there's a large screen TV on the wall, which is great. It has smart capabilities. So you can log into your personal Netflix, Disney Plus, or Prime account. You can also comfort and hang out and relax on our couches within the space. Each of the suites also have 2 washrooms. So these 6-person suites, 1 down each wing. These are shared. One of the washrooms has a toilet, shower, and sink, and the other one has a toilet, bathtub, and sink. So once again, a really good bathroom ratio for folks. Each of our suites are also completely furnished. In the bedrooms, there's a bed, dresser, desk, chair, and wardrobe. All you really need to do at this point is bring your suitcase with your clothes, bedding, and items that you need for school. Students will be able to connect with their suite mates following room self-selection in late July and early August before move-in, so they can coordinate who's bringing what to the kitchen, if people are bringing their own utensils, if they're going to bring, a coffee maker or an air fryer that they'd like to share, or any sort of cleaning supplies like a vacuum as well too. One thing to be aware of is that we do have barrier-free rooms that are available. Now, Sarah is going to be talking a little bit more about our accommodation and accessibility request process later in our presentation. So stay tuned if that's something that's of interest to you, needing a barrier-free room. So at Sutherland Residence, we have a ton of amenities. Now, not to speak of the other residences, since all of our residences are unique in what they offer, but we do have Wi-Fi available across our residence buildings in all 6 of our buildings at Sutherland Residence. Students can just log in with their same Fleming username and password. We also have 2 laundry rooms available, 1 in building 1 and 1 in building 5, but they are accessible to all students. So it doesn't matter what building you select, you can still do your laundry. And what's even better is they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you can't sleep late at night and you decide to do a load of laundry at 1 a.m., you go for it. A load of washing is $225 and a load to dry is $175. So very reasonable. We do also have study rooms in our buildings 5 and 6, once again accessible to all students at Sutherland though, in case if someone needs a quiet place to study or work on group projects. We also have a Zen Den in building 4. This is a unique space that has beanbag chairs, salt lamps, weighted blankets, and so much more for students to be able to just come in, feel zen, and de-stress. All of our students also have the benefit in living in a single room space located in their suite, aligning with their gender preference. So on your residence application, you can decide, maybe I only want to live with students in a suite that has the same identified gender as myself, or maybe I want to live in an inclusive gender or an all gender space. And so you just let us know on your residence application and we'll ensure that you're in a suite that meets that gender preference for yourself. We do have bike storage available year round, located in building 2. We're also steps away from our Phoenix field, which is a FIFA 1 certified sports field. We're also steps away from Bowers Park, which has lots of baseball fields. And we're next door to our Peterborough Sports Complex, where students have a membership to the gym during the academic year. That's part of their student fees at the Sutherland campus. Last but not least, we do also have a brand new parcel locker system. So with that being said, students can always order their, Amazon packages or HelloFresh boxes or whatever deliveries that they'd like. And they can pick these up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in our locker systems.
Okay, everybody. So now we're going to be talking about our offerings at Frost Residence in Lindsay, Ontario. Before we kind of get into our Frost amenities, I did just want to recognize for everyone that at this time, I do want to acknowledge that we are full for the fall semester 2026. So if you are interested in applying for the winter semester, there will be spots available. Those open in September, as we'll go through a little bit later, as well. Spots for the academic year 2027-2028 will open in February of 2027. Okay. So here we are at the Frost Residence. We are located just steps away from our Frost campus here in Lindsay, Ontario. And just steps away again from our Fieldhouse and recreation facilities here at Frost as well. So similar to the Sutherland residence, but a little bit smaller in scope and size. We do have 178 beds here at Frost. Again, similarly to Sutherland, we do have suite style living accommodations wherein 6 students live in a suite with their own individual single bedrooms. There is a full kitchen in each space and common living spaces. Again, 2 full bathrooms, and it comes completely furnished with the same expectations that Olivia would have laid out for the Sutherland campus. The only major difference between the Frost residence and the Sutherland residence is that we have what we call a large bathroom and a small bathroom at Frost campus. They are both 3-piece bathrooms. One is just a little bit physically smaller, but you can have everything you need in both of those spaces. We do also have barrier-free rooms available, which again, Sarah will talk about in just a little bit. Okay, so there's a lot of benefits and amenities to living here at Frost Residence, and we'll go into those really quickly. So again, very similar to what we would have talked about at Sutherland Residence, but we do have Wi-Fi that comes included. And again, you would just need to sign in with your Fleming credentials to use that service. We do have on-site laundry available 24/7 for student use. It's located in Building 2, Sturgeon House. Again, those are the same rates as at Sutherland, with $2.25 for a wash and $1.75 for a dry. And again, that is through the Student One card. So all of your payment is in one easy, convenient space. As well, we do have our study room and residence programming office. So this is located in Building 1. And our study room and residence programming office are available from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week. They are staffed by some of our student staff, which we'll go into a little bit later. But these are essentially lounge spaces and quiet study areas that students have access to throughout their studies and their time with us. And then again, all students have the benefit of living in a single room space aligned with their gender preference. As we've gone through in Sutherland, on application, students can indicate their preferred gender placement, and we will always defer to that placement. As well, we do have bike storage located between buildings 1 and 2 on the Frost residence campus, just steps away from either door. Great space to use during the summer and the winter. It is a 4-season facility there. And we are again located steps from our sports fields, steps outside of both of our doors. We have our basketball courts as well as our volleyball courts, and we are located quite close to the Fleming College Field House, which is available again 4 seasons. And students love to use that throughout the winter to get in their soccer and football needs and things like that. And then we are also right next door to the Lindsay Sports Complex. The Lindsay Sports Complex, as opposed to Sutherland, whereas that complex is included in your student fees, it's not included in student fees at the Frost campus. So that would be something you would have to explore on your own, but we do encourage you to go check out the Lindsay Sports Complex at your convenience. There's a lot of great offerings there for students as well. And similarly, again, to Sutherland, a newer amenity is we do have parcel locker systems, which will allow students to pick up their mail 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not only when our front desk is staffed.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in and talk about Haliburton, which is our newest residence. This is only our 2nd year running at Haliburton, so you will see that it is very new, fresh, and modern in design. We opened, it would have been September 2025. I think this picture is a really good representation of how close our residence, which you'll see at the 2 buildings in the bottom corner, is to our main campus. So when we say steps away, we literally mean only a few steps away from your classes and to get to your classes. So we'll go into some of the details of how Haliburton is laid out. So as I mentioned, it is one of our newer residences. It's similar in that we are suite style, but a little bit different than our Peterborough and Lindsay campus. Haliburton's a smaller campus, so we do have 47 beds available in residence. We do have a few spots, limited spots, but a few spots left for the upcoming fall 2026 term if you are looking to still apply. It is suite style, however, opposed to 6 bedrooms like our other campuses. We do have suites with 2 students per suite. Again, you get your own individual single bedroom, so you have your privacy and an opportunity to have your own space, which is nice. One of the nice features about Haliburton is you get a double bed. And then again, you get your desk, and each room does come with a chair that you can use for lounging or studying or whatever it may be, storage. You are then sharing an apartment-sized kitchen in each suite as well. So that's when it comes to sharing with your roommate. You get your own room, and then you're sharing the kitchen, which comes with a microwave, full-size fridge, a stove, some counter space there, and then you have one full bathroom as it's only 2 students, with again a shower, sink, and toilet. Again, completely furnished. You don't have to worry about lugging all your furniture down to Haliburton if you're from out of the area, which is nice. And we do have those barrier-free rooms available should you need them, which again we will chat about a little bit later. Similar amenities to our other sites. So again, we have free Wi-Fi throughout all of the buildings. There is a specific residence network that you just use your username and password to log into, and it keeps you logged in that way. We also have on-site laundry, so we have laundry machines in each of our 2 buildings, 1 and 2. Um, like I said, literally steps away from campus. You're quite close in Halliburton, which is nice. I know a lot of the programs do require students to be on campus pretty late, and so it's nice knowing that you don't have a long commute or even walk back to where you're living. Um, On-site parking is available, and again, regardless of where you park, you're going to be quite close to either the residence or a main campus. Um, if anyone's familiar with the Halliburton area, you do know that you are very much surrounded by nature and forests and trails and the water, which makes for a really nice place to study in and live and learn throughout the year. Um, Halliburton is our School of Art and Design, and so one of our cool features right on campus and um, close to residence is the sculpture forest. And so if you ever hear people talking about the sculpture forest, um, we have a ton of trails around campus. You'll often see the community members hiking, mountain biking, snowshoeing, skiing throughout the winter. And part of that is our sculpture forest, which has a number of unique sculptures designed by Canadians, Indigenous peoples, and international artists. So definitely check that out if you need a break in between classes or just need to get some fresh air.
So to go back to shared commonalities we have across all of our campuses, safety is our top priority in residence. So with that being said, we do have our housing services and residence life professional staff are available Monday to Friday during regular business hours. Now that looks a little different depending on what campus that you're at. So if you're at Sutherland or Frost, they are available in person in our residence office. If you're lucky enough to be at our Halliburton campus, our professional staff team and housing services team are available via telephone, virtually, or by appointment during business hours. Outside of business hours, we do have a residence life staff team, which Hayden will be talking about just a little bit in a second. And they're available at our Sutherland and our Frost locations. They're available in office from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m., so outside of business hours, on the weekends, and also available by phone from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. So they cover that evening portion of the time. At all 3 of our campuses, we do have campus security available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're always available through main campus just via telephone, or they're also stationed in residence, once again, at all 3 of our campuses, in residence every evening from 11 p.m. onwards, which is really great in case if there's any overnight needs or issues, security is there. A great benefit to residents. Campus security also monitors our campus-wide video surveillance. So we do have security cameras in all of our entrances of residence at each of our 3 campuses to help keep our residents safe and know who's, trying to come into our buildings. We're also a well-lit campus at all 3 of our campuses, and we have well-lit walkways. So all of our pathways from our main campuses to residence are well-lit at night, which is nice. However, we do always encourage our residents to download the Fleming Safe app. You can check your app store for that. It provides the Fleming Safe app a direct line to campus security, but it also provides you access to our Friend Walk app, which is kind of a neat thing where you can share your location with a friend or a family member, and they can actually track your location and movements as you go along. So if that's something you want for the extra security, awesome that we have that available for you. Students can also use the Fleming Safe app to review emergency procedures and report any incidents that take place on campus or in residence. So either that works for them. Last but certainly not least, one unique benefit of residence is our controlled access. So our one cards, which I'll hold mine up here that has my face on it, our one cards allow you access into the individual building and where you're placed. It also gives you access to any shared amenities or services for residents. Your one card also provides you with access to your specific assigned suite. So only the 6 people who are meant to live in your suite will actually have access to that suite. Last but not least, your bedroom will be keyed. So you will, when you first move in with us, be given a one card, but you'll also be given a physical bedroom key. So only you have access to your bedroom space, and it can be private. Now, of course, if you ever get locked out, we can help you out and get you back into that space, but it's really nice from a controlled access and privacy perspective.
Awesome. Thanks, Olivia. So my favorite part, the part where we get to talk about ourselves. Uh, so here in residence at Fleming College, our professional staff team is made up of our residence life management team, which is Olivia, Sarah, and myself, as well as our housing services team, which are the lovely folks you'll see at our front desks at our Frost and Sutherland campuses, and which you can reach out to if you are living at our Haliburton campus. Us folks are available Monday to Friday during business hours, which we define as 8:30 to 4:30. And we will be available by telephone or virtually at Haliburton again. In terms of our student staff, so at our Sutherland and Frost campuses, we do have what's called our residence assistants and our senior residence assistants. These are upper semester students who live in residence and work to oversee the wellness and well-being of students. These folks are on call in the evenings and on weekends and work to provide resources to students, make connections, and deliver social and educational programming in residence, as well as respond to low-level concerns or emergencies that may arise. While at our Haliburton campus, we don't have residence assistants per se. We instead have a residence community programming assistant, or RCPA, who is a student who works up to 5 hours a week, engaging students at the Haliburton residence in social opportunities and ongoing events. If you are a student at the Haliburton campus and you are interested in applying for this role, it is currently posted at the careers on the Fleming website, and it wouldn't require folks to live in residence. It's a live-in or live-off position. As well, in terms of campus security, as Olivia just wonderfully outlined, we do have security available 24/7 at all of our campuses and all of our residences. They're just a call away, or in residence specifically, they will be in residence on a nightly basis in the evening hours. We also have a dedicated facilities team, cleaning staff, and an IT staff member to assist with any technology or internet issues. If you are living in residence, you can easily report issues on the housing portal. Just on your landing page there, you'll see a make a work order button there right at the front page, and those will be addressed in a timely manner. Okay, so getting involved. So in terms of involvement opportunities that are on a volunteer basis, it does vary by campus. But in general, students can get involved at our events throughout each month. So we generally have events going on in residence on a weekly basis, with 1 or 2 events going on at any given week throughout the entire school year. We always want you to be engaged in your student experience while you're here with us. You will have the opportunity to talk with your residence assistant or your RCPA at Haliburton in order to give folks ideas and contribute your perspective on what you would like to be doing and what you would like to be involved in. We do encourage students to attend as many of our programs as you can. It is a really great opportunity to make friends and create that social connection here at your new home for the next year or next couple of years. So examples of some of our recent events have included our international student socials, which we run on a monthly basis. We're running a Sunday social with students this month, where folks can come in, grab a Sunday with us, and chat with our team about offerings on campus. Pride Walk and Chalk, this month in June for Pride Month, where students can get together and show their support for the LGBTQ plus community, trivia Tuesdays, drop-in sports, and other great opportunities like that. In terms of volunteer opportunities, we do have a residence council at all 3 of our campuses. So if you're interested in a leadership opportunity and developing your coaching and mentorship skills, we do encourage you to get involved in our residence council. Those have bi-weekly meetings and support and facilitate events for students as well. And more information on that will come out during your orientation at your respective campus. We also have move-in volunteers. So if you are an upper year student or you just want to get involved early on your introduction to campus, we do have move-in volunteers which have the opportunity to move in early and assist students on move-in day. And then as well, throughout the academic year, we do have open house tour guides and showroom volunteers. These are students who volunteer to show their beautiful spaces to new and prospective incoming students to give folks an idea of what their experience like in residence has been and show off their Fleming pride. In terms of our student staff role, we do have limited available roles for the fall 2026 term at Sutherland and Halliburton. We are currently full for staff roles at Frost and at all 3 campuses for the winter 2027 term. If you are interested in that opportunity, you can email us at residence@flemingcollege.ca and we can direct you on how to apply.
So I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, wow, what a great opportunity. I want to live in residence. So we do still have limited rooms available at our Sutherland and our Halliburton campuses for the fall 2026, winter 2027 terms. Or maybe you want to apply for our wait list at Frost, and that's okay too. So how do you do it? So number 1, you go to the QR code that's on the screen right now, and you register for the housing portal. You use your smartphone to scan the QR code. It gets you into the housing portal. You can register using your Fleming College student ID number that you were provided upon acceptance to Fleming College. So definitely have that number ready. Then once you've registered for the housing portal, you're then going to fill in the application. This is when you'll give us a little bit of information about yourself and how we contact you. There are multiple pieces to the application, so definitely read through it carefully. This is also when you'll notify us of what gender preference you would like for residents. So would you like to live in that single gendered suite, or would you like to live in an inclusive gendered suite where a student of any gender can be a suite mate of yours as well. This will also allow us know how many spaces we have available for you based on your preference, of course. Then step number 3, within 2 business days, we're going to get back to you and we'll either give you a notice of a room offer, or we'll give you an option to join the wait list. So once again, if you're Frost, you'll get that option to join the wait list. If you're at Sutherland or Halliburton campuses in this exact moment in time, which is June 17th at the time of the recording, you'll get a room offer at that time. Then step number 4, you then have to pay your deposit. And I'm going to go through what all the costs are and what that means and everything like that to secure your waitlist spot or your room offer. Okay. So just an overview of your 4 steps. Take a mental picture, take a screenshot if you need to, but we'll move on from here. So we're just going to transfer over to a key piece of our application process, which is the accessibility and accommodations in residence.
So we've chatted a little bit about our barrier-free rooms, and while this is definitely included in this part, it can mean more than that. We know disability comes in many forms. It doesn't always mean a physical room. But if you do have any medical or accessibility needs, this will be for you. And I will review a few of the steps that will be important to take. So the first one, and again, Olivia just spoke about your application. But if you do have any of those needs, whether it be um, limitations in your mobility, you need an accessible door, you have mental health accommodations, you have medically necessary equipment that you will need to utilize or be installed. Um, you have prearranged personal support workers. It could be a variety of things. The most important thing is that you're filling that in on your application under the disability section. So as you're clicking through your application, you will see a section that allows you to explain what your accommodation request would be. And that is our first flag to connect with you and reach out about this. If you did not, knowing again, applications open February 1st, we're now in June and getting close to our room selection. We're currently working through our accommodation process and communicating with our students. If you did not disclose on your application and you have not heard from us yet, please email residents@flemingcollege.ca as soon as possible so we can make sure that we are supporting you before room selection starts. So the next step after you have included that on your application, you will hear from our team, most likely myself, about our documentation process. And so we do have a residence accommodation form that must be completed by a regulated healthcare professional. And our deadline for that is coming up, and you must submit that by June 26th to be considered for an accessible suite for sure, or any other accessibility needs. Again, we do that June 26th because it's ahead of our room self-select process. Once all of our rooms fill up, we have limited barrier-free spaces. And so it's a little bit harder to work with. So then it becomes more of a as available or first come, first serve basis. But prior to June 26th, we try to look at all the accommodations needed and prioritize from there. Okay, so again, you should have already have heard from me about how to find that documentation to have your healthcare professional fill out. If you haven't, please reach out to either myself or residents@flemingcollege.ca is the easiest email to remember. And then once all of those forms are submitted, we as a team review them and start to work on room placements and reaching out to you directly to discuss your accommodation need a bit more and make sure that it's all set up. Again, we have limited spaces. We do our best, but we do have to look to make sure it meets criteria and prioritize based on that. Okay, so again, if you have any questions about that, reach out as soon as possible. For resident-specific accommodations, that would be myself. So if you're all good on main campus and you're really just worried about your room and the living part of your experience here, that's my email where you can email me directly, or again, just our residence team can get that information to me. If you have accessibility needs on campus, however, or if you're looking at academic accommodations, we do have an accessible education team, and those would be the folks that you want to reach out to get set up on main campus or in your classes or with your academics. So that information is found on our website. But given my job as a case manager, I'm also very happy to help you get connected and navigate that. I know it can be a lot of resources, so feel free to reach out to me and we can help with a referral and getting you connected with an accessible education counselor if needed.
Thanks for reviewing that, Sarah. So, okay, you've now applied for residence. You're really excited. You did fill out, or maybe you didn't fill out whether you have any accessibility needs. Now, what are the costs and fees associated? I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to try and figure out. So, our fee structure is as posted. So we do have an application and processing fee of $100. Now, once again, if you are given a waitlist spot, you would be asked to make the $100 application processing fee and the $400 deposit to hold your spot. Okay. With that being said, there is a residence activity fee. So once we make the offer to you and you have a spot in residence, this goes towards the staffing and all of the materials we need to do all of these awesome events that we're going to hopefully do for you throughout the year and engage you and help you connect with other people, starting right at orientation. For one semester, the cost of residence is $43.45, and for 2 semesters is double that, so $86.90. So just some fees to keep in mind. With that being said, if you are interested in a meal plan, I know we get a lot of questions about, is it mandatory? Is that included in the cost? So not mandatory in any capacity, because all of our suites do have full kitchen spaces. So students can do their own grocery shopping and do their budgeting to fit their own needs there. That said, we do have on-campus meal plans available. We encourage you to go to our website for campus services and check out the meal plans that are available. And if you do choose to purchase one, that would be on top of these fees that we have here. So another important note to have is that our residence fees can be deferred to OSAP. This is something you do have to put on your residence application. So as long as you mark it off, we assume that OSAP will be covering your residence fees. That said, if you don't check it off, we assume you're going to be making a payment to us by the deadlines provided. And we do have all of our deadlines for our fees and payment structure and everything like that on our website, but also in our resident contract. So the moment you get a room offer from us to you, you'll be able to look through all of the terms and all of the specific dates so you don't miss anything. But definitely please know that key piece. Another thing I want to go through is our important dates. Now I can't go through all of them since, I don't want to stay here forever, but to start off with, I do know we talked about a key date is February 1st, 2026. That's when our residence applications actually open. So they've been open for a while now for all new and returning students. So with that being said, if you are thinking of living in residence, get in your application as soon as possible, since we're getting very, very close to our fall semester move-in time. So we don't want you to miss out if you do want to live with us. On Friday, June 26th, as Sarah mentioned, we have the date where our accessibility accommodation form is due, but it's also, as a fun key date, the fall semester residence fees are due. So they share that same due date. On Thursday, July 16th, 2026, we have our residence room self-selection via the housing portal. So this begins at noon. I might actually have the wrong date here. This might be the 17th, but so the Thursday. Just keep watching your Fleming College emails to get information for how you can select your room. This is a really great opportunity for if you want to live on like a first floor suite, or maybe you want a 4th floor suite, or maybe you'd like to sort of pick specific suite mates of yours where you can see information about the people who have already selected the spaces around you. We definitely encourage you to get on at noon and start going through that process. If you don't participate in residence room self-selection, by the end of the week, we will manually place you into the rooms we have available. So once again, if you want that autonomy, really think of that Thursday, June, I think it's the 16th or 17th. Oh, Sarah's nodding. It is the 16th. Thank you for that. On Friday, September 4th on 2026, so only in a couple months from now, we have our residence move-in date for Sutherland and Frost. Really big move-in dates we have across those 2 campuses, so be there or be square. We have a lot of important programs that happen even within that evening. We have mandatory residence meetings, so definitely talk to your supports about making sure that you can move in on Friday, September 4th. There is an early move-in option available where you can move in a little earlier in the week if you need to, but once again, we'll send you those details once you have that room offer with us. On Sunday, September 6th, 2026, that's when we have the residents move in for Halliburton. So once again, it's a little bit of a different day, but a really great opportunity for our Halliburton students to all be able to meet and greet with some of our professional staff, be able to do their own residence meeting, and also engage in their own residence orientation activities over the next couple days before classes start. On Tuesday, September 8th, that's when we have our new student orientation, and some classes start for programs. So once again, keep checking your Fleming College email so you're in the know. Last but certainly not least of the deadlines and important dates I'll share with you today is Monday, September 14th. And that's when the residence application opens for winter 2027 students only. So maybe you're listening to this recording and you're like, I don't want to, start my program in September. I want to start in January. You can apply for residence. We do typically have spots available at all 3 of our campuses just because of the natural turnover and how terms and semesters and program lengths work. But once again, apply first come, first serve. So put in your application on the 14th if you're looking for a winter only application. So just keep that in mind. So as some final words, make sure you apply today. Don't miss out. We'd love to see your face for the 2026-2027 academic year. We truly hope that you think residence is a good spot for you. We love our students and residents. We're here because we're passionate about what we do. You can also check us out on Instagram to see some of the cool things we're doing and go from there. Now, just as a final note, and I'll go through this quickly, but if residence, you're listening to this presentation and residence just isn't the right fit for you, that's okay. Or maybe, residence is full and you're on the wait list and you're looking at different options. Maybe you want to check out off-campus housing. So we do have an off-campus housing office. There's the number. Once again, take a mental screenshot or take an actual screenshot or take a picture, whatever you need. There's their phone number, email, or you can go to their website as well for more information. But with that being said, thank you for joining us today. We very much appreciate it. I'm not sure we're going to have any questions today, but I'll just turn it back over to Brooke.
Perfect. Amazing. Thanks so much, Olivia, Hayden, and Sarah, for taking the time to provide that very valuable information. The overview of residents, as well as those deadlines, key deadlines to apply. So that February 1st, as the residence applications opening is a huge date, particularly as you're seeing for our Lindsay campuses, residence does fill up quite quickly. So the next slide there, Olivia, will have my contact information as the member of the recruitment team, and then the residence email that was referenced throughout the session too. If you are looking to book a campus tour, you can scan the QR code there to book a campus tour. And depending on when that tour is booked, we can either explore residents in person or offer a virtual tour of our residents as well. So you can take a peek, but definitely point out those buildings. But really appreciate everyone's time for joining us today. Hopefully you found the session to be helpful. And I don't see any questions because I think we've hit on all of those FAQs that we take. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, residence management team, for joining us today and providing that valuable information. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.